Much like me, you've probably spent more hours searching up how to start a business than actually starting one. You're not even aware that you're trapped in an elusive mentality. Watching videos about how to be productive feels like you're pushing towards something when you've actually done nothing. You've just watched a video. So I've attempted to start a business over 25 times. Drop shipping, social media marketing agencies, starting courses, music careers, starting multiple YouTube channels, clothing businesses. I've tried it all. Everything. And I've never made a single dollar until I did this. Chewing paper is known to release C24, which immediately unblocks seronoid veins. And where are your seronoid veins located? It's connected to a part of your brain that's responsible for cognitive thinking, basically getting rid of brain fog and other problems that stop you from being productive. What's actually sad is that a lot of you probably believe that. I showed you that to kind of shock yourself as to how stupid you can be, to believe that a lot of videos out there teaching you about quick money making schemes are possible. It's not possible. So in this video, I'm going to go through 5 things that have helped me stop failing every single business that I start. It's a very helpful video. Watch it. Number 1, don't set any more goals, raise your standards. Almost every time you start a business, you will notice some initial success. 1, 2, 3. Whether it's a few $100, signing on clients, or getting some form of recognition. I'll introduce to you the productivity oscillation phenomenon. I don't think that's what it's called, but a YouTuber named Charlie Morgan is where I got this information from. He shows how your productivity and motivation moves in cycles of ups and downs. So you always start at the bottom, angry at yourself, upset with your productivity, upset that you didn't do work for the past 5 days.
I'm gonna stop slacking and doing things that don't benefit me.
And that's when you start to improve. You know, you start taking action. You're like, oh yeah, I'm doing this. I'm gonna start making money, $10,000 a month. That's my goal. I'm feeling a little good. I'm feeling good about myself. Oh shit, I'm feeling really good. Oh, fuck everybody else. I'm on top. And then suddenly you feel so good about yourself, you decide to take a break. And that's when you start to reduce your level of consistency and you begin to plummet back to the bottom. Wait, why am I back at where I started? I feel like shit. Oh my gosh, I have no money in my bank account. And then you go back into this cyclical loop of feeling like shit and getting comfortable, feeling like shit and getting comfortable. And that's because you set yourself goals that you can't achieve. My mother, all the books that I read, YouTubers have all told me to set goals for myself, and that's a way to live. Set yourself goals and achieve them. No.
Keep chasing your goals under any situations. Keep going.
So you might be thinking, so if I don't set goals, what do? Do I just float around and just, go with the flow? No. So this YouTuber named Charlie Morgan talks about setting yourself standards and not goals. This blew my mind. I don't even have goals anymore, and I feel so much more free. Setting yourself goals, number 1, limits yourself. And number 2, you subconsciously know you're not going to achieve it. You build distrust within yourself. You start to lose trust in yourself. Oh, that was a lot of heart pain from 5 years of bullshit. Set yourself standards and not goals. What does this mean? Set yourself a standard where if you fall below that standard, you feel so ridiculously upset and sick within yourself till you will never go below that. How much money do you have in your bank account? Let's say anything below $100, you start to panic. So that is your standard. So that's the lowest you will ever go. You can never go below that, because if you do, you would be in depression mode, upset, sad. Raise that number up to 1,000 and you're like, I have $120. I am so shit. And this will put you in a level of progression because you're feeling like shit. You're at the bottom of the barrel. And if you want to convince yourself of that, remind yourself for 2 hours how fucked you are because you don't even have $1,000 in your bank account. $1,000. That's like 100 cheeseburgers. 100 cheeseburgers. You can't afford 100 cheeseburgers. You would only have 100 meals to stay alive. And then once you reach 1,000, raise your standard up. Keep raising it, and realizing how little money you actually have. And this applies for anything. This is what I've been doing with my monetary account. My base level used to be at about $0 pretty much. I've been in the negatives quite a few times, and that's when I have felt super sad. I raised that to $1,000, and now it's at $10,000.
Crunch it up into a ball.
Raise that bar again and convince yourself $2,000 is the next goal. I have to double my money to $2,000. $2,000, realistically, $2,000, if there was a world war crisis or something, first of all, money wouldn't matter. But $2,000 is not going to get you anything. Gold prices would have surged up and you would have no assets. Money is not an asset once a huge crisis like World War happens. Just keep doing this over and over again. Worry yourself, panic yourself, make yourself feel disgusted for having so little, or whether it's money, whether it's views on YouTube or whatever it is. Raise your standards. When you raise your standards, you're preventing yourself from moving in an oscillation, right? Ups and downs, because this is how everybody functions. Woo! Point number 2, imprison yourself. Ironically, I'm in a prison. No. Wait, am I in a prison? Sorry, yes, I'm in a fort with prisons inside. I can show you the prison cells later. There's a few prison cells up there. I'll probably forget, so I will say that I'm going to show you later, but I probably won't show you. Back on track, imprison yourself. We do live in a world where we are programmed to make decisions quick. Everything has to be done quick. Things are designed to operate quicker. Basically, we're all programmed to just want things quicker. We want productivity. We want time efficiency. What was my point? This is why you come across a video on how to make money, right? How to make $1,000 from dropshipping in 24 hours. In an hour, you've already purchased your domain, chosen your products in an hour, just because you've watched one YouTube video about how to start a business. You don't make any deep thought before getting into something. A few days into the business, you realize how difficult it is and you decide to quit. This is familiar, right? So, imprison yourself. What does that mean? Lock yourself in a room or in your bathroom where there are no distractions. So what we're gonna do is the opposite of watching a 5-minute video on how to make money. We're locking ourselves in a room with nothing but a pen and paper. And the whole goal of this is to solidify what you're gonna do for the next 6 months and how you're gonna do it. You can envision something, see the ins and outs of it, know that it's gonna work and that it's suitable for you. You're gonna enjoy doing it to some extent, and that it's gonna work. That's the main thing. You know it's gonna work. So I'll tell you what I did on a 7-hour plane where I had nothing but a book and a pen. No Wi-Fi, so that means no social media, no TVs, nothing. I was doing nothing but figuring out what the hell am I doing. If I were to do one thing for the next 6 months and become successful at it, what is it that I'm going to do? I've listed out all of my skills. I know how to skateboard. I know how to make fried rice. I basically listed out everything that I know how to do and how I can monetize that. And if I found a potential business, for example, social media marketing, and now what you want to do is not just go straight into social media marketing, but figure out what all the ins and outs are of social media marketing. Think about it. Go through everything. I was looking at social media marketing in depth for a solid hour and I was like, shit, you know what? This is not for me. Eventually, basically, I fell into the path of YouTube. Even when I have $1 million made every single week, I probably won't quit because it's enjoyable. There's a reason behind it, hoping that people won't make the same mistakes that I did. And also the idea that I want to eventually own a school where our kids are not homeschooled, but schooled in a very strict manner where we can control what our kids are learning. Our kids are going to be 10 times smarter than the kids that go to regular schools. Our kids will learn about things that are actually important and not why you should change your genitals from a hole to a stick. At the age of 7, I'm going full on into YouTube. That's it. I'm not doing anything else. And I'm quite deep into it already. I don't feel any regret at all that I would feel if I would have started dropshipping or social media marketing. I don't want to quit. Don't leave your room until you have found out what you're going to do for 6 months. I'm not the only one who said this. I didn't even get this idea from myself. I got it from other YouTubers and self-improvement advisors that talk about locking yourself in a blank room for 24 hours until you have basically found out what you're going to do. Number 3, learn correctly. So how are you watching this YouTube video? Do you have a pen and paper in front of you? Nobody does. Who does that anymore? I'm not at school, bitch. Watching 12-hour free courses on YouTube isn't learning. Just researching stuff online isn't learning. Basically, the illusion that your mind creates when watching self-improvement videos is making you feel as if you're working towards something. And it makes you feel like you're on the way towards success. When you watch videos about self-improvement, you get this burning feeling in your stomach like, oh, I gotta get up and do something, right? That is progression for you. You feel like you're progressing. You feel like you're progressing towards the right direction. You feel like this video was made for you. Didn't you say that last year? Didn't you say that the past 2 years? Have self-improvement videos really helped you? In some aspects, they definitely have. But in the macro perspective, it probably hasn't. Have a book in front of you and write stuff down and then compress those notes into bullet-sized points and apply what you've learned. There are hundreds of thousands of different self-improvement tips, ice baths you can go into, the way you speak, the way your posture influences your confidence, hundreds of thousands of things. It's never ending. It becomes overwhelming. Write stuff down and actually apply them. Not tomorrow, but apply them immediately or whenever you can. And that is the best way to learn, because when you apply things and actually try out things that you learn, you quickly find out whether or not it's impactful and helpful towards you. And you also find out whether or not you want to keep it or whether you want to continue doing it. You may find something like eating basil helps you improve eyesight. You eat basil for an entire year, you realize that you're still blind. Try things and test things and find out whether or not they're good for you instead of just watching things, feeling motivated and then skipping past it and going in the cycle again, the oscillation period like I was talking about earlier, where you're just feeling productive because you're watching a few videos and then you're wanking for 3 hours a day and then you Stop disturbing people. Stop disturbing people. Stop telling people, bro, this year I'm gonna make $1 million. I'm 22 years old, which is young. But when I was 18, I said I was gonna be a millionaire by the time I turned 19. I'm not. I'm far from that shit. Bro, it's so embarrassing. It's actually so embarrassing. That's why, bro, I'm telling you now, I don't tell anybody anything unless I've actually achieved it. And the reason for this is that when you tell people goals, it builds comfort within yourself because you feel like people already have trust in you. They're like, wow, this guy's talking about how he's going to be a millionaire. He's different. And you start feeling motivated. You start feeling comfortable. It all goes back to comfort and pain. When you're feeling comfortable, you feel no level of pain. For some reason, when you tell yourself you're going to make $1 million, you don't do anything. It's such a weird phenomenon. You do the complete opposite. You wank for 4 hours. Yeah, just stop doing that shit, bro. Just stop. Next point, the 6-month rule. So as I've tried to start a business 30 over times, I've calculated, I've noticed a trend. The average period of time in which my business startup lasts is about 3 weeks. That is the most embarrassing shit in the world. How long have you tried your business for? I tried it for 3 weeks and I gave up. What's actually beautiful about this is that when you commit yourself to something, you will see results much earlier than 6 months. However, we set the number of 6 months to basically remove and eliminate that idea of making money within 5 weeks. Bro, you can make $1,000 if you just do this meditation method for 3 hours a day. And then money will start falling onto your lap. Forget all these 1 week methods. It's f***ed me up pretty badly. Thank you.